some guardsmen, the guardsmen. Welcome back to Spekd. Look, this is issue number 50 of Warhammer Conquest. This is the landmark we were looking for. In my mind's eye, I knew that if we can make it to issue 50, then, you know, we're coming close to an end and it's happening. I'm just hoping that Hashit don't get scared and then pull away the Gravis tank, because, you know, I want to get a few of those. And I suggest you guys get your pre-order on, because you're going to want some. Okay, let's have a look and get this open. And let's go from there. Struggle, open, didn't hit the camera. So let's start with the sprues. You know, I like to start with the sprues. Let's see if we've got any defects here. Any problems, any issues? Nope, they're looking nice and clean. So we've got our Chaos Cultists. And you need these to pad out any army. And what I appreciate here is they've got 10 of these models, because you always really need squads of 10. Anything less than 10 is pointless. Now these are the old Slaughter bases. So these are the really old models that come in the box. So for $7.99 for 10, I mean, I say, but you have got the magazine as well, so you take out the value of that. But you know, these are old, but they're consistent, and it's well worth it. Especially for my Black Legion, I will be using those. In fact, with Cultist, you could use them for any of your Chaos armies, so don't worry about that too much. The magazine itself, issue number 50. Let's have a look at you. I actually like the muted design there. I'm feeling that. Maybe because I've gotten into a lot of rust because of Death Guard, that's more suitable. Maybe they could have done that. They could have, like, you know, the kind of dripping kind of oils and rust on it. That would look really good. You know, like leaking and water degrading. That might work. Do that for every other issue. So when you're dealing with Death Guard, you have it kind of like the messed up, decayed, you know, like look of a codex, just ripped pages and what have you, different states of repair. And then flip it over when you've got the Space Marine items, you could then kind of have that like all crisp and clean and almost faux gold trimmed. That would look pretty cool. Yeah, coming up with the design at issue 50, bit late, eh? Nice way to strike whilst the iron is cold. Anyway, let's open this up. So, Chaos Cultist. So what we're going to have a look at their life to see what it's like to be a Chaos Cultist. Reason to be, the factions, how to build, how to paint, and we have Betrayal and Sanctus. Oh my goodness, sounds like Betrayal at Calth, sorry, the Horus Heresy. Chaos Cultist, data sheets, and mission. Let's have a look. So we have the Chaos Cultists and what they're about. Okay, now I've often thought, well, okay, why would someone be a Chaos Cultist? What's their life got to be like to decide that they're going to give over to a dark power? And what I figure in this grim dark universe is that not everyone has an equal life. There are planets which are totally, not deprived, but so poverty stricken, and people live on plateaus above each other. If you've seen Necromunda, you know what I mean by that. So you have these hive cities where the poorest live almost underground, supporting the cities, the power structure, you know, doing all the real mangy work. Then you have like the prisoners, and then you have the poor, and then you have different stratus of people leading up to rich at the top. Now, it doesn't mean that they're nice people or they're bad people, it just means they've got nothing. And when they have nothing, it means that the idea of having anything will be better than that. So maybe calling out to an aspect which is considered evil or from the warp entities to draw them forward might be a lot easier. You know, someone's stricken with an illness and they're asking for help. They might receive, you know, Nurgle giving them help by the way of making them full of plague, but by becoming like a poxwalker, so they're no longer kind of in anguish about it. And when they feel the beauty of that, then, you know, they take that turn. You know, what can you say? Some people are snatched and used as food, and some people actually grow up in the large ships which carry the Space Marines, like massive city-sized ships. And in that time, you know, any captives which are there, they have children and they're raised inside pens pretty much. And it's dog eat dog for them as well. So, okay. So we're speaking about the cultists of Nurgle here in particular, and yeah, these are the people that can survive on those worlds which are full of plague and disease. So in a way, it's like they go from somewhere where they're the bottom of the food chain to a place where they could be the only person on the food chain, but at least they're not at the bottom, if you get what I mean. Also, the thing about the cultists is quite often they could be in the Imperium hidden and they don't understand the effect of what they're doing. And in Warhammer 40k, this Grimdark universe, if you acknowledge warp entities, then they kind of become manifest. So ignorance is bliss in so many ways. So the more people that become aware of them, a lot of time they think they can control the warp entities. They actually then find themselves becoming like followers, worshippers, and then start to realize the real power of the warp. And then it starts with little treats, little gifts, you know, the first one's free and all that. And so on and so on. So we get to see Chaos Rising, a little bit of history there, a little bit of lore, and I'll have a good read of that later. I wonder how much this is going to change due to the Horus Heresy books. We have the Sprue there, straightforward. I like that you can actually look at the Sprue and compare what you've got, because if you did lose any of these pieces, you'll be able to tell just by looking at that, if you have or if you hadn't, you know. That's really good. It's a secondary thought. Clippers and glue, you're going to need them, even though they're slaughter bases, and these are real straightforward, and I've made these in the past. I tend to find though that the arm tends to pop off, so make sure you glue it on properly. Other than that, it really is straightforward. It's like piece 1 to piece 2. Now they are showing different models there, but they're either all the bolters or all the melee weapons and pistol weapons. So painting up your Chaos Cultist. So when you start with Death Guard green, look, save yourself some aggro, start with all black, and then just paint them whatever colours you think these people will be wearing. Don't fall for the green. You fall for the green, then you start thinking you can only use them for your Death Guard, but actually you could use them for any Chaos Army. Okay. Alright, we've got our lenses work there, we've got lead belcher, rack our flesh for bandages, base coating, okay, it's finished. Shading, that will pop through details, so get that definitely done for them because they're tiny, and you could let the washes do a lot of the work here. A combination of the Nile oil and the Agrax can make something look grimy, more so than just like dirty, so consider that when mixing up your washes. Might be something to do. I see why they're going for the green, because they've got the Athonian camo shade there. Additional trimmings, pop them with a Stormhost silver, highlighting, they're going back over there. And what I haven't seen is I haven't seen them go back to deal with the older models with the new colours in this particular one. You know, are no new colours, but they normally do pop backwards and forwards to show you. So that doesn't look too bad. It is what it is. I will go for colour variation, just to make it look interesting, like that people have just jumped out from the side, or you know, that postman was walking down the street, just pulls a mask on and just be like, yes, let's get it Nurgle, let's go. So you can tell it's late night. Okay, the Rise of the Cultist here. We've got information there on the Cultist, what they're currently doing, the rules and the mission. I like the way that they got their map growing there. We have information of lead characters. We have information of lead characters there. You could see distress signal. So the story is moving on, which is really nice. So this is like the Death Guard's kind of reinforcements in a roundabout way. So this mission, you've got 10 Chaos Cultists and 12 Poxwalkers versus 5 Space Marine Scouts. Okay. Let's see. Tide of Traitors. So they've got a stratagem here just for the Cultists, which is really kind of handy. I wonder if they're going to bring them all together. If those Space Marines are a long distance and they keep running and firing, they might be okay. But other than that, I don't know. Chaos Cultist stats, all straightforward. Basics, nothing special there. And I lost the cover there. And we're seeing our next item, the Hemotrope Reactor. I like that. And more Astro Granite. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, what I'll do is I'll get the models together and then we'll have a look at the ones that I've painted previously, but not the ones from this set. Okay, so these are not the Chaos Cultists which came in the magazine. These are the ones that I built originally a good few years ago, and I've painted them up. I think it's almost like 4 or 5 years now. And the paint job isn't fantastic. I can see like where I would definitely add washes on them. But when I was doing this originally, it was just to get them on the table, limited palette. Bases haven't been done properly. But you know what? That's okay. They could be on the table. I'll be playing along with these. I think I have to repaint this one. From what I remember, it was a case of getting someone else to paint it to test out how the model looked, and then I just repainted over it. So these are the 5. You get this twice in the set, as you saw, but you do get more. I mean, this was from the Crimson Slaughter set or from the Dark Vengeance, one or the other. One set had 5 Chaos Cultists, the other one had 10. So I think that's about right. But as I said, you don't have to paint them green. You can paint them any other colours that you want, just to tie into whatever you need. They're scavengers. They'll find bits of armour. They're Chaos Cultists. They survive. They'll use whatever's handy. I think there was a guy with a heavy stubber, and he has like a blacksmith's outfit. So he's got like the leather kind of tabard and everything. So, you know, paint them as you will. That's issue 50. I was kind of hoping for a bit more. I know it's a bit greedy, but it is like an anniversary issue. If this was a comic, it would be a special issue. Probably like all foil embossed Silver Surfer cover or something. You know how it stays. But look, let's get back to it. Tell me what you think of the magazine. Is it worth it? 10 Cultists. They are the same though. But you know, tell me what you think. Do you like this issue? Do you not? Either way, I've enjoyed my time and I hope you've enjoyed yours. I'd love to hear what you think. This has been Spekd. Have a good one. PC out.